Hey everybody, Rich Hanf here. You know, ever since I made Live on Horror Hill way back in 1997, everybody's had just one question. And that question is, Rich Hanf, when are you gonna make another video? You're the man of the plan, you're the man of the hour, you got the power too sweet to be sour. When are you coming out with another video for us? Live on Horror Hill was such an amazing success. It was so jam-packed with information. It helped haunters, new and old alike. Everyone's been saying, when is the next video coming? You can relax, because here it is, the brand new video, 5 years in the making. Here it is, Living Dead Live.
I really expected to do this just one time. Well,
I sit alone, a lifetime from the race. They call this dwelling home, but to me it's just an empty space. No one understands me or knows why I feel pain. Just another soldier boy, a face without a name.
I'm standing here at House of the Living Dead, perhaps the greatest haunted house I've ever done. We're hanging out here in Long Island, New York. Those of you who remember House of the Living Dead, this is going to be much the same. I'm taking you inside this world-class haunted house, perhaps the greatest of the great, a haunted house that stands beside the haunted houses of all time. We're going inside. We're going inside live. We're standing tall. We're doing it all. It's going to be right there for you to see. I'm going to talk about the scares. I'm going to tell you how they were done. I'm going to tell you why they were done and the psychology behind it, so you can apply that same psychology to any scare in your house. Then we're cutting away to documentary footage so you can see that scare in action. That's right, just like Live on Horror Hill, Live at the Living Dead is destined to become a classic in your library. So here we go. Follow me into the house. Follow me in. You're not going to do this to me again, are you? Follow me in, I said. We're going House of the Living Dead.
Which one am I? One more dinner!
Therefore, her death sentence is a death by hanging! You, sir, should we hang the witch? What? Should we hang the witch?
Hell yeah!
Yes!
Hang that bitch!
Everyone, count to 3 nice and loud. 1, 2, 3, she died! Take out their intestines! Here, for you!
You know, I remember many years ago, me and Reddy Eddie Gannon, the Ed Wood of this industry, we were thinking, what are we going to do to give the people a quick, easy scare? And we came up with something that we called the werewolf door. And we called it the werewolf door because when the door was in action, it scared people, and then the werewolf would run around the side and get the scare. Now, we don't use the werewolf anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with werewolves. We all know there's nothing wrong with werewolves. But the door still works. I had put it away and hadn't used it in years, and decided this year I was going to take it out of retirement just to see what we could do. So this is how it works. The people come in here, like this lovely young woman, And isn't this scary? What a scary haunted house. And that big noise startles the people so unbelievably, they scream, they yelp, they fall down, but mostly they go running forward. Let's take a look at some videotape and I'll show you exactly what I mean.
Say what's up and they say hi. Oh, that lady.
I'm a first soldier.
Wait.
All right, so you can see how well that worked. And it's real simple to do. All you got to do is get yourself some old tire chain, get yourself some good steady wood, put it on there, and rattle away. Kind of like that. Now, of course, I've seen situations where any loud noise will work, where you take a steel bar and throw it heavy down on the ground. I saw Arnold Chase do that at the old Haunted Happenings up in Connecticut. What a great place that was. But another great one that has gone by the wayside, and it's us haunters, us down and dirty haunters, that are still here surviving. You know what I mean? All right, let's move on to our next scare. All right, here's another scare that actually was just hanging out behind my house, and I decided to pull it out of retirement. This is the rat. Now let's take a look at this thing. Now, that's a rat. So what happens is, the people are walking by, unsuspecting, of course, and what happens? They may see this thing inside a little bit, but maybe they'll just see the snout of it. They never expect this thing to come out as full and as forcefully as it does. So naturally, they go flying right into here. And this is all part of a 1-2 type setup, because from the rat, we go right over here into the clown area. And what happens over here in the clown area, it can be one of several things. Now, we already had the rat to serve as a distraction. And we have a clown in over here, we have another big clown here. And we'll have a clown standing here. Maybe he'll just be resting on here. Maybe he'll be laying on here. It's just a basic thing so that people think that there's a clown that's just part of the scene. They're kind of distracted by him. They're not really expecting anything over here. And they're kind of taken by the fact that this is so decoratively painted and looks so nice. You can see over here we have a killer clown. He's hunched over another clown victim, a giant knife in his hand. Over here is just a big, beautiful face of a clown, if we can get in on that one. And people aren't really expecting anything. Suddenly this clown comes to life. He jumps up and comes after the people. And it's a great scare. Let's go to some tape and you can see what I mean. All right, here's another great section of the house. I have found through the years that the scares that work the best are 1-2 punches. And here's what I mean. People are coming through this way, like this couple over here. So what happens? They're over here, and the first thing that hits them is the loud noise from the jail cell. Now that's enough to startle them right there. When that happens, they move back. And what happens then? The drop window comes down. So there's a 1-2 punch right there. But is it over? Not yet. Now, the bars that kept that guy away from your guests, the bars that kept them safe, they're now gone, and this guy comes flying out of the window, and we actually have a guy that is so limber and so nimble that he actually jumps out of here, swings across the cross braces up here, and actually attacks the customers as they go through. In addition, over here, like there's any way you can make that.
I can make that.
Right? In addition, over here, this door will open, and the guy who plays the part in my particular show, it's Hannibal, he'll come out of here and chase the people right down this way for another scare. Let's check out some videotape. We got some great scare footage, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna get Woody!
All right, this is a pretty easy scare that anybody can do. What we have here, in fact, you may want to try to get some of this. We have some decorative art right here. It's, I guess it would be in a priest's chambers. You can see the priest here. There's a big knife going into his back. You can see the beautiful windows back here. He's a dead priest. Now, who killed the monk? Who killed the priest? That's the question. Well, we come over here and we have some catacombs built in. We have a closet that's painted on. We have, this is a cool little prop over here. Everyone knows Angry Annie. And we just had this mask and a Freddy sweater hanging around. We just threw it together, you know. So what happens? The people are walking through. They're looking at this because it's a pretty cool prop. I picked this thing up. Check that out. I picked that up at Spencer's for 65 bucks. Unbelievable. So they're coming through, and what happens? The monk, the mad monk, comes out of here because it's really a cabinet that's built into the wall. It's not a painting at all like the rest of it. But if you were just going through, you would never know that's not a painting. You'd never know that's built into the wall. I'm going to take a break. Let's see if we have any footage. And if we do, I'll show you. And if we don't, that's okay. You get the idea, because what happens is it scares the people forward. That all-important forward scare that helps facilitate your throughput. It doesn't do any good for someone to come whipping around this way, back the people up into a group that's coming behind you. So always remember, the forward scare helps with the throughput, and a scare like this definitely helps scare the people forward. And what do we have? Now, I don't know if we can see with the glare of the light. Beautiful. Turn that light off. And we have in here a corpse that we made, and you can see he's busy having lunch. But that's not really the way that I intended to be used. The way I intended to be used is, we have a curtain right over here. Go through that curtain. So now you don't see him at all. He's really just this far away from the people that are coming through. They're stopping here, they're looking at the skulls down here, they're looking at the corpse, and all of a sudden what happens? Bam, there he is, right in their face. Remember, he's only this far from you, but you'd never know it. And it's another bam, in-your-face scare that sends them flying around this way. We're coming over here, and around the corner here, this is a great little piece. You can pick it up, and I got it at the trade show in Chicago, but you can pick that up almost anywhere. The electric dish. Again, this is a distraction. It catches the people's eye. And why do we need to do that? Because right behind you, this simple black curtain is the third scare that this one actor gets. People go around the corner, they're looking at that, and bam, here we are. So I just got 3 scares out of one actor. He's the guy that was in the drop window, he was the guy that was attacking the corpse, and now he's the guy that comes out of the curtain while they're looking at that electric dish. If you can do better than 3 scares per actor, let me know how you do it. But 3 is pretty good as far as I can tell. Here's a scare I like to call the Bates box, only because it originated somewhere in the Bates Hotel in a Bates room I did some years ago. And the concept is simple, and I'm not even sure if I covered this in Horror Hill. If I did, well, then bear with me because it's definitely worth seeing again. We tell the people, as I'm sure you do, when you come in, there's certain rules. No smoking, and one of them is no touching for sure. And that's the same as telling somebody don't look up. As soon as you say don't look up, what are you going to do? You'll look up. So we tell people not to touch anything, and then we deliberately put something right here that we know they're going to touch. This mask is a great mask. It's a Death Studio piece. Right here, they're going to play with the nose, they're going to play with the horns, and as soon as we get them to do that, what happens? Someone comes out. Again, it's another scare where they're here and we're talking about a piece of curtain that thick. That's how close the actor actually is to the person. There's no way you're not going to get a great scare out of it. Okay, let's move on.
Look over your shoulder. Nothing there. Something moves in the shadows.
Magic in here, don't you think?
Yeah.
We need some good. So who are you going to turn to?
Larry Hanf.
Ghostbusters.
There you go, our very own Larry Hanf. How's it, Larry? What kind of costume you got on this morning?
Can you get Linda? Let me give you a hint. My nose is running right now.
Yeah.
Can you pick me out of a crowd? My new friends, I want you to meet them. I have my zombies, and I have Rich here, the ghoul. He's going to take us on a tour. Rich, where are we?
We're at House of the Living Dead in Sports Plus in Lake Grove.
Will we ever be seen again?
Perhaps not, Larry.
Come on,
House
let
of
us
the
go.
Living Dead.
Let's try to
A
escape
haunted
this
attraction
madness.
so terrifying it lays all others to rest. Larry, they asked me how scary is House of the Living Dead.
Nothing scares me. Ah! Who let these people in here? Get us out of here, Rich. Get us out of here.
Wait, before you
Where's my
continue.
axe when I need one?
Before you continue.
Turn around, Don.
There's someone you need to meet.
Don, turn around.
Right this way.
You're
Where's
not safe.
Junior?
Don, turn around. There you
Where's
go.
Junior?
Where are your tickets?
Oh, jeez, I forgot them. But I have my American Express card, don't worry. All right, Linda, come back and join us. The haunting has just begun this morning. Rich, one more time. Where are we?
House of the Living Dead! House of the Living Dead! House of the Living Dead!
And you're in Hannibal's house now.
And Sports Plus.
In Lake Grove.
Yeah. Thank you, Linda.
All the guys look like mutants all coming up next.
Don't be afraid, my friends. Larry Hanf live at Sports Plus on Long Island. Junior is leading our tour and the haunting is just beginning. Live report coming up.
Is the spider? Larry,
Yes,
did you?
I did.
You look
Yeah.
good, but you look better like that.
This is very scary this morning. And Linda, I want you to meet my new friends this morning.
Oh no, not more friends.
Enough of this! There is no time for such delights in House of the Living Dead.
Where are we going?
Foolish mortals, follow me!
Lead us, master! Come on, let us go!
This way into the laboratory! Follow me! Right this way!
Stop this madness! That's horrible! Horrible! What do we do? Rich Nid is out of there! Stop this madness! Stop this madness! Is this the last night for this, Rich?
This is the last night, the very last night to put your face in the plate. Right here, House of the Living Dead, Sports Plus in Lake Grove.
I'm getting married anyway, so.
Yeah, good luck to you. Lots of luck.
Jerry,
I promise I will come.
Hey, Jerry, look at all your fans out there.
That could be my show and you wouldn't know it's Halloween.
That's true.
The morning commute, it's all coming up now.
Live from Sports Plus on Long Island.
And you've been scaring me all morning, Larry.
Well, things are looking good for us right now. We're coming down to our final stretch, I think. Now, we're being led by a silly clown.
Chester.
Lead the way. I think we're in our final corridor right now, everybody. Be very alert. I think we're going to make it out of here alive. We're going to make it out of here safe.
Oh, then you'd be one of the lucky ones. You know, Larry, everyone's always asking me how scary is House of the Living Dead. We'll take a look at the the scare-o-meter right here.
It's gone off the scale!
Off the scale, Larry. That's what I've been trying to tell you. House of the Living Dead. A super spectacle of hideous horrors unlike anything you've ever seen.
It's our last night, isn't it?
Right, the last night is your last chance to put your face in the place right here at the Sports Plus Mega Center.
Yeah.
It's an unbelievable mega complex.
And you guys are the greatest, too. I'm going to send it back to you, Linda.
Larry. Thank you, Larry. Scaring me all.
Okay, good morning. It's 6:21. Welcome back to News 12 Long. That's not me, by the way. It's a haunted house in Lake Grove, where we are live from this morning, and we are.
Oh, where's that?
Read the prompter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Surprise! Lake Grove. There it is. Ken Grimble is there. I knew that. And there's a scary guy.
Well, they have some very strange-looking things here at the House of the Living Dead here in Lake Grove. Of course, this is all taking place. Look at this newspaper article, and someone very strange is behind it. Rich Hanf, is that really you?
Yes, that's correct.
He's reading the paper in the middle of all this. He's reading the newspaper.
House of the Living Dead here in Sports Plus in Lake Grove. They saw us right here on the cover of Newsday. They said House of the Living Dead. It's so big. It's so terrifying. It's so scary. The only place they'd have room in the paper is on the front page. That's right. A super spectacle of hideous horror unlike anything you've ever seen, Ken.
Well, believe me, I'm shocked with all this going on. We had some kids that are going in here, but I think they were a little too afraid. They were like cowering behind him. And there's another strange person right here.
The queen of Halloween right here, my wife Roxanne.
Good morning to all.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, just wonderful. We're just looking forward to a wonderful morning here.
Yes.
Take care of all the young children.
Well, what do you have in your hand?
This is my pet. This is our family pet here.
Oh, your family pet.
Lovely. We have many of them. We have over 30 of them in our house.
Can we'll do anything to get ahead.
Well, I think you'll do anything to get ahead. I say you really do it. Well, let's kind of go inside and see what's happening inside.
Let's
all right.
right this way.
Actually, we're going to try to turn around this way so that we can see what's happening here. Wow, look at this. Boy, you put a lot. Junior?
Where's Junior? Junior.
Oh, what a beautiful child you have. Oh, wow, we're going to let everybody see this beautiful child you have in a minute. Boy, we have a lot of kids here who are having a lot of fun, or trying to have fun to keep their sanity as they go along.
Fun being a relative term, Ken.
What's that? Oh, that's relative.
Fun being a relative term.
You know what? Let everybody see your beautiful child here.
Here's Junior.
Oh,
Junior, where have you been?
Oh.
This is Junior.
Oh, hi, Junior. Oh, is he on a diet?
Really, we had to hire a nanny.
Oh, this is the nanny.
This is our nanny.
Okay, well, let everybody see where this is happening here in Lake Grove and keep this child away from me. But, this is a lot of fun. House of the Living Dead.
House
Very
of the Living
nice.
Dead.
Okay.
So terrifying, it lays all others to rest.
Oh, I'm finished with it. Look at this kid. Ay, ay, ay. We're here at the House of the Living Dead with my little friend Junior now. We're trying to find our way around here. This is in Lake Grove. He's the kind of nice kid, but this is really some scary stuff here. Whoa, oh my gosh. That's what we're in for. Okay.
A fun event. But it's the House of Living Dead. I think it's for older kids. And there's Ken Grimble.
Oh, it's really terrible. This is the House of the Living Dead. We have a lot of interesting visitors around here, but there's something very strange on this table. It's actually me. Oh my God. Wow, what's going on here?
Well,
you know, I was standing over and all of a sudden now I'm missing. What?
We were just about to begin the experiment.
What? What are you doing? Oh my God.
To replace the human brain.
Oh, I need that. I need that. Wait a minute.
We got this instead.
Oh my gizzard. Oh my God. Oh, look at all these kids in here and all these strange people. Oh my gosh. How did I get in here? This is ridiculous. Look at these kids will never be able to live this down. This is crazy. This is the house of the living dead. All these things are going on. People with knives and, you know, all kinds of surgical equipment. It's really crazy. I feel sorry for these kids. This is a Sports Plus in Lake Grove. You know, this is real. Don't you have any mercy on these kids?
No mercy!
No mercy. Oh, I think I'm trying to get out of here. I'm going to get... Oh, look at that. He's playing with people. Oh, that is outrageous. I'll tell you, let me show everybody where they can see this happen right here at Sports Plus. These poor kids will never live it down. Oh, he's a doctor, all right. He has a
little Willella, our chapter, is looking at that saying, I hope that's not vegan.
And we're trying to find a place of solace here at the House of the Living Dead here at Sports Plus. Now, these kids are all lined up here, and this is really a scary place. Watch out! Watch out! Oh, wow!
House of the Living Dead.
A strange place here, and everyone's all gathered here for our time here. And this little guy here, he's having a lot of fun. But the only thing, he's a little nervous. Why are you so nervous? Huh? He doesn't want to talk to us. You know, do you have anybody like this in your class?
No.
No? Wouldn't you want someone like that in your class?
Yeah.
You would? He'd be probably the mascot of the class, all right? How, you like him?
No.
You don't like him either? Why? You know, he's just a little different. We have to accept people with differences, you know. This little guy here has an unusual haircut, you know, and a whole lot of strange things. So what happened to you? You have an eye on things here? Yeah. He has an eye on everything that goes. Look at this guy now. He's joining us. So, Rich, you know, this looks... Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. You know, I felt the wind from that just now. Rich, this is quite an event that's taking place. And how long is it going to be here?
It'll be here through Halloween, October 31st. We open 7 o'clock in the evening. And you've never seen anything like it, guaranteed.
No, and you are entirely right. And how about you? Are you going to have a lot of fun? You have such a beautiful wife.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we're going to have so much fun with the children and the adults. We're going to scare the yell out of them.
Oh, okay, all right. So what do you have to say?
I think this is going to be the best ever.
You what?
I think this is going to be the best
ever. The best ever. All right. Did you pay her to say that?
All right.
Did you pay her to say that? What?
No, I'll give her a couple bucks on the way out.
Okay. All right. All this is happening right here at Sports Plus. It'll be here through Halloween. Oh, my gosh. Look at that. This is...
Wow. I know a good eye doctor that could...
All right. Shiver down your spine. Halloween's coming, and there's a place in Lake Grove decorated to the hilt. It's the House of the Living Dead. News 12 Long Island's Ken Grimball takes us there.
These are some of the very strange but happy friends we'll meet at the House of the Living Dead at Sports Plus in Lake Grove. Now, they're walking through old cemeteries in hopes of finding ways to make visitors shudder with fright. Frank Walsh can't believe what he just saw.
It's pretty scary. The Grim Reaper guy over there just freaked me out.
Wow. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, not at all.
Are you coming back again?
Yeah. I'll whenever I can.
Would you let this person cut your son's hair? Harrison Tannen should have selected another barber. Barber, what is she doing to you?
I don't know. She's probably gonna cut my ears off or something.
Oh, no. You need those, don't you?
Hopefully.
Eventually. Wow. So how do you like it? You having fun?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You do it step by step, scare by scare. Inspiration comes from many different places. Maybe you're walking down the street. Maybe you're watching a horror movie. Because really, isn't that what this is? This is like being in a horror movie.
Thousands of people came to this show last year. Now I'm in the abandoned Catacombs. This is one of the long hallways, and it's really a good time for someone to really have a chance to be alone, you know? The average person can get through the House of the Living Dead in about 45 minutes to an hour. That's if you're not stunned by this. Or this. If you don't fall for this one, there's lots more to see at the House of the Living Dead! In Lake Grove, Ken Grimball, News 12, Long Island.
Kids loving it.
Now here's a surefire scare. It's been around for a while, and I've used it every year for a lot of years, and it still works great. We just call it Sparky, and here's why. All right, what this is a battery charger that is grounded to this metal grate, with the other side of the battery charger, the other lead, being a metal wand. And we start back here. You can see the light. We have a funnel light up there. We have some fog in the area that comes out of the bottom down here. And what that funnel light does is cut through the fog and makes a really nice funnel. So people are kind of distracted by that, and they enjoy the funnel effect. Meanwhile, Cloud's the person that's in here. She takes the wand, smashes it against here for a big noise, and drags it down, and the spark always makes people react. Come on. All right, this is the entrance to our mine shaft. Now, I'll show you a little video as we pan around, and you can see some of the things we have in our mine shaft. First of all, what I used in here was good old-fashioned pallet wood. The older, the better. Find some old skids, some old pallets, rip them up, and put them on your 4x8 flats, and it makes for a really nice looking effect. And in fact, it even smells great. It smells like old wood. So people have the impression that they really are in a mine shaft. It's very effective. Now, what are some of the things you're going to find in a mine shaft? Well, you're going to find raincoats. You're going to find slickers because miners wear slickers. However, over here, instead of just hanging it up, what do we have behind it? We have a we have a window, and somebody comes flying out of that window for the scare. Works every time. And one of the reasons it works is because people are coming around here. Once again, we have the 90-degree rule that I spoke about in such great length in the Horror Hill video. People are coming around here again. Look how close they are to this scare. And she comes flying out. People always go running. And where do they go running? They go running forward. So what happens? They go running this way, and what do they see? They see some of the props we have here, some of the things you might find in a mine shaft. This guy has been dead for a long, long time. But what else? We have the old time clock. We have his old stationery and letter bin. We have a couple of hard hats on the wall, pipe coming out of the wall, an old telephone. I like this guy myself. If we look over here, we see Don, or maybe we don't.
I'm walking my way over there.
I love the way this looks. Yeah, this is just some good old-fashioned scenic painting. You see the tunnel, it looks like it goes on forever. We have a skeleton coming out from the mine wood over here. I think it looks really good. So what happens is now the people slow down a little and they're looking at all this stuff expecting something to happen, and nothing happens. So what do? They continue to go. Now what do we have over here? We have a cabinet with all kinds of junk in it, an old paint can, some ripped up newspaper, just a lot of junk. So they start coming around this way, and what happens? Right there. Another scare that people aren't expecting. And what we've done to really maximize this scare, right over here we've just put a piece of black material. Now believe it or not, a piece of black material will slow people down like you wouldn't believe. So what happens is they come around here, they see the material, and they stop. For some reason they just don't know to go through here. So they gather up in a bunch, the door opens, the actor jumps out and gets the scare, they scream, they go down, and then it hits them. Let me go forward through here.
Okay. No, nothing, eh? I say right. Wrong way, wrong way. Wrong way.
Go straight through the curtain.
Go through the curtain. All right.
this is a really great room. Not because it looks great, but because it works well, and it's a perfect use for some of your older, junkier skeletons. Take the skeletons that are no good, the ones that are falling apart, take a can of fluorescent paint, spray them up so that they glow in the dark. Then you go get a couple of cheap black lights, put them in here, and they glow like crazy. And no one really pays any attention to the fact that they look so lousy, because now all of a sudden, they look pretty good. So you're coming through here, people are playing around with the black light thing. They're looking at themselves. They're looking at their hands. The teeth of the people they came in with. Sometimes they're wearing a shirt that glows in the dark. And I'm wearing my Live on Horror Hill T-shirt. No, I'm not. This is the new one. This is the House of the Living Dead T-shirt. Anyway, they're looking at the T-shirts that are glowing. And what happens? Somebody jumps out from behind one of the skeletons. But that's not all. We also have an exit door here. This whole panel opens, and somebody comes out here at the same time. So once again, you have a distraction in the way these things look, and you have a 1-2 punch. Come on this way. This is our basement, and you can see the decoratively painted basement steps. They look like steps leading up to one of those storm doors. And as you come around here, you find yourself in the basement. You have an old trunk over here. We have an old cage with a corpse, a rotted corpse in it. This is sitting on a crate. If you look over here, we just have a window with some old junky curtains, another crate or another trunk, a steamer trunk over here. And what is so great about that stuff is there isn't a single thing I bought. All this stuff was just pulled right out of somebody's garbage on garbage day. And you set it up, and that's the best way to get props, is go out garbage hunting. And if you're a haunter, then you probably already know about dumpster diving. Anyway, this over here, this is a beautiful scare factory piece. And let's see this work. How are you going to find a better distraction than that? So the people come through. The guy who was in the skeleton room that jumped out at you, he's looking through that curtain right there. So he sees you standing here. And what does he do? He steps on the footpad, activates this guy. Everyone is standing there looking at the corpse. And what happens? Right from behind, we get the scare. A big, loud, forceful scare. So once again, we have the 1-2 punch. We have you misdirected one way, so we can scare you from the other way. And that's the way we'll always do it.
I found the blood. Christina.
I don't know why.
Now this is a real beauty. This is one that I came up with this year. I've never seen it used anywhere. But being the executioner at the New York Renaissance Fair, I wanted to incorporate just one or two of the things that we do there at the fair. When I'm at the fair, I'm dressed in costume, and I find myself on a large stage. Really, it's a scaffold, and there's a hanging guy there, the Distortions Unlimited hanging guy. And we have a whole routine going, and it works wonderfully. So we've modified it a little bit. We built our own gallows here. And here at the foot of the gallows, here's the footlights. You can see these skulls that we got from Collegeville Imagineering, David Bernalino's new company. These things are just great. The little tiny lights, you can get them anywhere. If you go to Home Creepo, you can get your lights there. And they make a very nice lining for your gallows. So what happens is we have a witch up there. We have a handle, and we have a trap door. Why don't we see what happens? Ah, it's beautiful, isn't it? He goes through a routine telling the people how the witch has been found guilty of witchcraft. She's been found dancing naked in the woods, making a pact with the devil himself. And what happens? Death by hanging. So, he gets the crowd going. Should we hang the witch? Hang the witch! Should we hang the witch? I can't hear you! Hang the witch! All right, let's do the countdown. He gets them counting. 3, 2, 1. Boom, he pulls back the lever, which of course has a skull on it. And the witch goes down. And then a second or two later, right from underneath here, just like he came out, bam! An executioner comes flying out with a knife, and people go flying back. This is one of the top 3 scares in the house. If there's a couple of scares that you have to go to, these are the go-to scares. One, that you got a TV crew coming down, and you need something that is guaranteed to work each and every time. This is one of those scares. Each and every time, I have never seen it fail. I don't care how young or how old the patron is. I don't care if it's a guy or a girl. This one will work every time. I've never seen it fail. All right, more along this way.
Right here.
Upstairs.
Right here. Ladies and gentlemen, with your approval, I would like to hang this witch. Can I have you all count to 3?
1, 2, 3.
She died.
I knew I should have went to church. I knew I should have. That was a good one. Where do we go?
This here woman was tried last night and was found guilty of being a witch. Therefore, her death sentence is a death by hanging. You, sir, should we hang the witch? What? Should we hang the witch? Hell yeah! Yes! Hang to 3 nice and loud. 1, 2, 3. She died!
All right, here's a real basic situation. We have some decoratively painted catacombs here, thanks to our crazed Canadian painter, Pepsi the Painter. Over here we have a real old, junky, beat-up corpse in an old coffin that's just kind of hanging out here. And it should come as no surprise to anybody that this is really a door that somebody comes out of. Now this is the same person that came out of the window when we were back in the basement, right around the corner. So here we are getting 2 scares out of this actor. It's always great to do if you can pull it off. All right, let's continue along. All right, here's our gallery, which may or may not be something that we covered in the last video. But you can see we have some picture frames here that we got from Garbage Day. We have some nice looking masks. This is a real beauty. I love the old general here. We got some pictures. I think these pictures cost $60 each from Morris Costumes. We have some real good pictures here. There's another Death Studio mask. And of course the question is it live or is it Memorex? Here's another one. Again, a great mask, a good costume, a guy in the window. They will never know whether it's live or not. And you have a guy that's kind of big, kind of tall. He can actually come out and lean over that window, and he gets people on the ground, crawling along the ground. But just when they thought it was over, their journey through fear was just beginning. Because over here, on either side, we have stretchy walls. We got 2 stretchy rooms right here. And instead of spending $800 or $900 on the special stretchy walls that you can get, forget about that. Go to the fabric store for just a couple of bucks. You can get enough spandex to make your own stretchy wall. Have somebody behind it. The people are crawling by, they're coming by. What happens, they're standing here, they're looking around. The wall comes to life and actually grabs them. So it's enough to send them running out. All right, hello everybody. You know, I design all these scares, or at least some of them. Some of them, of course, we steal from other haunted houses, and we kind of make them our own. We do as much as we can to make them our own. And in the last video, if you guys remember, I went from scare to scare, trying to tell everybody, trying to explain to everybody how it worked and the psychology behind every scare. So I figured, who knows it better than I do? Well, after thinking about it for a while, I realized there are people that know it better than me. And those are the guys that work it time after time, night after night. And so what I'm going to do here is introduce you to some of the actors that actually played the spots this year. This year being 2002. And they're going to give you their impressions as to what made the scare work, what made it effective, and maybe it'll be of some value. All right? So let's start over here. This is Brian. This is Brian. Huh?
Alzheimer's.
This is Adam. This is Adam. Adam, you played a bunch of places. Tell us where you played.
I played the Graveyard, the Gallows, and Hannibal.
All right. Let's talk about the Graveyard. All right. Now, to set the scene, and I'm going to show you some video for this. You come into the Graveyard from another big scare, which was the Bates Motel, and we have one of the Scare Factory Reapers that comes down from the tombstone in front of the people, and we had a mausoleum on the other side. So tell us what happens.
Basically what happens, they come into the room, the person behind the mausoleum, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Comes out, they have a foot pedal thing that they step on, and the Grim Reaper comes down on a post. So basically that distracts the people as they come around the wall, and when they're distracted from that, you come out from behind there, which I did, and jumped out behind it. And that basically got them right there.
So what it is a basic distraction, right? I mean, that's really what makes it work. That, and just from watching it, it's your forcefulness, your speed. Yep. Now, anyone that has the Haunted Attraction Employee Handbook, you know what I say. Remember, OJ? If the glove don't fit, you gotta quit. And what do I say with the Haunted Attraction Handbook? Do you remember?
Get your scare.
Come on, who can tell me?
Get your scare and get out of there.
Get your scare and get out of there. So you come out from behind the mausoleum, bam, you hit the people real hard.
Go right back in.
And you go right back in. Because otherwise, what happens? You're looking at them saying, gee, I wish they would leave. They're looking at you saying, I wish he would do something else. But as long as he's gotten his scare, there's really nothing else to do. He's already done his job. So you come out of the mausoleum, you get your scare, you go back in and reset for the next week. Right?
Exactly.
And how did you think it worked?
I think it worked great.
I can tell by all the broken tombstones in the graveyard that it did work pretty well. All right. Any memories, any thoughts, any special groups that you remember, like any particular scares?
There was one group of about like 5 girls. There was this one blonde. She just went right into the wall. She basically broke the wall.
Yeah, there's a section in the wall, and I remember there was this one. This is great. This is one big guy. I mean, picture the biggest guy you know, and this guy is bigger. Now, this guy used to work with us at another haunted house. So he shows up, goes through, and of course he's Mr. Cool, you know, comes from the competing haunted house, as though they're any competition. Come on. He comes through, he ends up in the graveyard, and yeah, I remember his name, I'm just not saying it. And it was either Angie or Adam here came out, scared this guy so bad, he hit the wall. He hit the wall and put a really large hole in the wall. Then comes out, sees us and said, oh yeah, it's all right, it kind of sucks. Of course, he forgot to mention that he got so scared that he broke the wall, but other than that, we suck. So, you know, there are certain scares in every haunted house. They're your go-to scares. When the TV cameras show up and you got to get a scare, there are certain scares that you go to, and every house has its own scares, so you know what scares are that scare in your house. I had a couple of them in my house, I'm happy to say, and one of them was the gallows. And over here is Gallows Man. Now, oddly enough, this is, I said Gallows Man, right? I didn't say Trojan Man. This is Gallows Man. This is Jim Carrey, right?
That's right.
I know he doesn't kind of look like the Cable Companion. All right. The Gallows it's something that it's this idea I came up with at the very last minute. We built the thing maybe a week before we opened. And I didn't know if it was going to work or not. I thought it might, but never in a million years did I think it was going to work as well as it did. And to prove that, let's go take a couple of looks at the videotape, and we'll be right back.
Trial last night. I found guilty of Should we hang this guy? Count to three, nice and loud.
Shall we hang the legs? Good. She will die on three. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, shot!
All right, so you see what I mean. This is one of those things that gets a lot of scares every single time. Explain a little of this. Yeah, don't explain a little. Explain the whole thing to us from start to finish.
Explain the whole thing.
Explain the thing.
All right, the thing is, a group comes into the room, right? And there's a setup man up on top of the gallows, and you got the scare hiding down below. Now, the setup man immediately has to take control of the room because of the previous scares, people sometimes come running in, and the setup man's basic job is to keep them from running out of the room and also from keeping them from going under the gallows, seeing what's underneath.
Now, just to clarify, when he says the setup man, what he's talking about is the executioner that's on top of the gallows. He's the guy that has the corpse next to him ready to hang. He's the guy that puts his hand on the lever. He's going to pull back and drop the trapdoor. So when he says setup man, that's what he means. And it's vitally important to take control of that room, isn't it?
Absolutely. If control isn't taken, a couple things can happen. People will go underneath the gallows. They'll run around the side. They'll open the curtain at the bottom. They'll see what's hiding underneath, or they'll just leave the room because they're running from the previous room. So after the executioner takes control of the room, he gathers them all around and they get them excited about the execution. Hangman hangs the witch.
And how does he get people excited about the execution? How does he get people involved?
Brings them right into it. Something I used to do, I'd get somebody, I'd ask for their name, tell them to come up closer. What's your name? Look at this. Make them count to three. Make them involved when we actually pull the switch that drops the witch.
Did you have any groups where you got the whole group involved?
Absolutely.
And they were screaming, 1, 2, 3. Did you have people yelling, hang the witch?
Absolutely.
And that's what makes people have a good time. Never. Go ahead. So go ahead.
So we get the group to count to three, we hang the witch falls, and the minute the witch reaches the end of a rope, the scare person on the bottom pops out of the gallows with a knife and charges like a madman towards the group.
How often did it work?
Every single time.
Every single. Guys, I'm telling you, it works every time. It is amazing how dependable this scare is. Is there anything you can think of that would make it better?
Yeah. Putting barriers around the gallows that would keep people from getting in, and also putting a door on their exit so they can't run right through, and makes the job for the executioner a little easier in keeping control.
So basically we're talking, if you're going to pull this off to the maximum, you need some kind of crowd control so that they don't look underneath or behind the gallows to see the guy there waiting to scare him, and they don't leave the room, they have to stay there. And other than that, it's a go-to scare. It'll work every time. All right, we're back for a couple of more actors with another scare. And this was another one of those go-to scares. Never fail. Never fail. We're talking about Hannibal. Hannibal the Cannibal. You all remember Hannibal Lecter. These are my two Hannibals over here. Now, Jerry, first I got to do this. Jerry, give us a list of your credits. Tell us your movie credits. This is so great.
Black Sheep.
Mention some names, will you?
Eli Waller.
Oh.
Gene Hackman.
Oh.
Anthony Hopkins.
Oh.
Chris Rock.
Yes.
Pamela Anderson.
Oh.
Steven Seagal. Antonio Banderas. Woody Harrelson. Sophia Loren. Just about all of them I played with.
Dan, who have you worked with?
Him.
Okay. Tell us about Hannibal.
Well,
as everybody knows, Rich, Hannibal is a legend in his own mind, by himself.
Yeah.
I mean, probably the most famous name there is today in show business when it comes to horror scenes and everything else. Hannibal is what he is. He's a cannibal. They can never seem to catch him. Once they catch him, he always seems to get away.
What is it about this character that captivated you? Because from the second you walked in here 2 years ago, you were that character.
Well, I think what captivated me about Hannibal is the craziness he does, like when he bit the man's face off. One of the guys. When he ate Ray Liotta's brain in the end of Hannibal. And it's just his mannerism. I mean, he is just so cool. He has that voice that just goes right through you. And of course the mask. The masks, you know, everyone knows who that is once the mask is on.
It's true, the mask is as recognizable as any Frankenstein mask, any Jason from Friday the 13th mask. It really is. I was watching some video, and I watched what you do. In fact, let's take a break and check out some of So you can see that Jerry puts a little extra effort into it. What I'm talking about is how you come out, and what we did, not to interrupt myself, but we made it not a double scare, we made it a triple scare. Because he comes out of the window, as you just saw, and as you will see again. He runs around to the window where there's an impaled guy and slams on the glass there, getting the people off guard. But he also comes through a curtain as they're walking by. Instead of just coming out of the curtain, he slams himself against the wall, starts beating the wall, and you went to such extremes. Tell us, how did you get into this kind of strange
Well, you've got to set your mind. You know, I watched a lot of Anthony Hopkins movies with the Hannibal and Bad Company and this one and that one. And I set my mind there, that I'm here to entertain people, and I do the best I can, okay? With the screaming, the yelling, and it's an element of surprise. It seems to get the people. And I hope everybody enjoys the show, and my partner and I will be back next year to entertain you again.
Well, I have to ask you both this, and this is vitally important. And again, I refer to the Haunted Attraction Employee Handbook, where I say it doesn't matter if you're watching the Rolling Stones, or Kid Rock, or anybody who's out there today on tour. If you're in the audience, you don't care if it's the first night of the tour or the last night. You want every song played with a certain kind of energy, a certain kind of enthusiasm. And I expect the same thing from my scares. You guys, as much as anybody, exemplify that. Every time someone went by, and I watched the video, shot after shot after shot. Hannibal is here! Same with you, when you jumped out of that curtain. I don't think I ever saw you miss a scare when you jumped out of that curtain. How did you guys muster that kind of energy every single time?
Sugar? Actually, to be serious.
Yeah, I know it's more than that, because it's a mindset.
Yeah, you want to just get the scare. Yeah, you got somebody on the ground. You want to get two people on the ground at the same time. You want to just make it better. You just want to scare more people.
Did you do anything to psych yourself up? Because here, you've never done anything before. This guy is a master. And you're both mustering the same kind of energy every time.
For me, it was just fun. I just loved it. I'm just one of those sick people, I guess.
So you're a horror genre kind of guy and a haunted house kind of guy, and you just have it in you.
Yeah,
And you would probably do it for free.
Yeah.
Good, you heard him say it.
But I'm not
excellent. Sherry, how about you? See, now he's a kid, and he can sugar up. You and I, we're over the hill, man. Let's face it. We're over the hill. How do you muster that kind of energy every single time? At the end of the night, your voice is shot.
My whole body's shot.
You limp out to the car, you can barely make it, and then tomorrow night you show up and you do the whole thing over again with the same energy.
Well, the way I look at it, okay, you know, I'm here to do a show. You know, all day long I watch television, do what I got to do. And
Listen to this.
Once I come here, and once I put on my clothes,
Are you looking in here?
my mind is set.
Are we all right? Are we still on camera good here? Listen to this.
It's a show that we're putting on to entertain people. People who come here, they come to see our show, which is probably the best one there is in Long Island. It is the best. What do you mean one of the best?
I don't like to do best and better than.
And
that's his pride.
And
coming through,
hopefully
that's great.
that, and in my opinion is, when they come here, when they leave here, they'll tell their friends that, you know, we saw Hannibal, we saw this, we saw probably the best show that we've ever seen. So when I come in here, my mind is set. I'm here to entertain people. They paid money to see me. They paid money to see the other actors and actresses. Let's put on a show.
You hear the attitude?
And that's the way it has to be. It have to be. Every show has got to be as good as the other one.
You see that? Because you're only as good as
your last show.
Your last show. Exactly right. But did you hear what he's saying? People are coming to see a show, and his attitude is he's going to give them the best show that he can every time. And if every one of your actors isn't saying that, then get the hell rid of them and get in some actors that think like him. And like him. And if they don't, give them some sugar. All right. I keep mentioning go-to scares. Scares that are going to work every single time. And Dominique over here is responsible for not one, but 2 of those scares, which means 3 of those scares?
3, end of the maze.
Yeah, you know, I'm really wrong about that. Dominique is responsible for 3 of those scares. So he's really valuable. What's the trick to getting these people every single time?
Well, you gotta get, like, you can't get the first person, the very first person, because the other people didn't get in yet.
Oh, did you hear that? And where did you get that little bit of information? From the Haunted Attraction Employee Handbook, and if you don't have one, you should get one. So you don't get the first person in the group.
You don't want to get the last person, you want to try to get, like, a little bit in front of the middle. You know why?
Why?
Because everybody's going to hear the door. The part where I get the people, they're going to run into the front of the group and get scared. And then the first people are going to want to be in the middle.
So they're getting the scare for you, in a sense.
Yeah.
You're starting off a chain reaction.
They're hearing this door shake, and all the chains is so loud, and everybody's just running. Some people don't even know what they're running for. They're just running.
Yeah.
They just get scared because other people's running. So that's how I just get everybody.
So it sets off a chain reaction.
Here's another way I get the people. I just stand there like a mannequin right in front of them and do not move at all. And they were staring at me like, look at this thing, it looks so real. And they swear on faith, and I'm just standing there. And they get so close to me, that's when I start shaking the cell. The closer they are to you and you get them, that's
the better the scare.
Right.
Dominique, #1 man. He's standing tall and doing it all, baby. Well, Rose is on the phone, probably talking to her porn agent. We're going to talk to these 2 girls here. We'll start with Angie. Angie, one of the things that I like the best that you did in the graveyard, you did this half man, half woman thing. And I have to tell you, it took her hours. I mean, she was here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It took hours to get into that costume. And in fact, let's just show the people what I'm talking about.
Won't you please don't listen to her. She's crazy. Well, I was just about to make some. Oh my God! You're like, get out! Get out! That way, you don't belong here. You're
All right, so you can see what she looked like and what she was doing. Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us how you used it. Was it effective? And just run with it.
Well, basically, in the graveyard, the people would come in and they would get distracted by the Grim Reaper coming down, and I would time it just as they would, as soon as they would get distracted by the Grim Reaper and get scared by that, I would come pop out, and I was holding like a severed leg, and I would pop out on one side so you see the guy side of me, and the guy's side would say, "Get out of my graveyard," and then I would switch like this and go, "Oh no, please stay," you know, and he'd be like, "Don't listen to her, she's crazy." Switch back, and then switch back again. "But no, I was just about to make some stew," you know, and I'm showing them the leg, and at this point they're like, "What the hell is that?" You know, and they're running.
So what was the reaction? Did they stand there and watch you? Because that is
some
always
people
been a problem.
did, yeah, because some people were just looking at me going, "Huh?" You know, and then other people were like freaked out that they ran. So it was kind of funny. And then like when I got bored of doing that routine, I would just kind of pop out and say something, do like a silly little thing, and say, "Oh, a tasket, I'll put your head in a basket." And they're like, "What?"
That's good. That's good. A tisket, a tasket, I'll put your head in a basket.
You know, and then people were just like, I had mixed results from that. So.
Overall, what was the thing you did the most
The
to
thing
make
I
that
did
character
the most
work
to
in that
make
area?
that character work was to, you know, constantly switching back and forth. It was very high energy, but it was funny and scary at the same time. I had a lot of people laughing and a lot of people were freaked. Either they were staring at me, confused completely, and scared at the same time, or they were so scared they ran. So.
Not to get too artsy about it, but what was your motivation for coming up with that character? I'm so intense.
I give the credit to my friend Sam. He was, you know, he knows how much like I like to play a role of a guy, and you know.
Notice I get no credit. No credit.
I'm sorry. He was just like, "Why don't you do a half man, half woman thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's awesome."
All right.
So.
Did you get the part?
Yes, I did.
Excellent. Now, Rose, you were, oh boy, wait till she sees this. Okay.
You said they got to be there next Thursday.
All right, now you were in the basement.
/Catacombs.
/Catacombs. Thank you. So, tell us a little about that. How did that work and what made it work?
There were two scares, obviously. One was in the catacombs and it was a window. So when people were walking past my little window, they were distracted by a skeleton animatronic.
Right, it was the Scare Factory shaken corpse that's suspended by all fours. And somebody hit the foot switch, that thing started shaking, which got a scare by itself, and it served as a great distraction. So once they're distracted by that, well, what happens?
I would jump out of the window, scream my throat off, and reach out and sometimes touch them or at least grab past them. They got scared and they would fly down around the corner to the gallows.
So screaming is actually going to be a real asset for a job like Thursday. so anyway, Cher, up to you. You played a couple of different parts, right?
Yeah.
Now one of the things that's important that no one ever talks about is the person that the customers see outside. You were the first real ghoul zombie person. In your case, you were dressed as different things throughout the house, but you were dressed as the mistress of the house in the front when they meet you. And it's important because you kind of set the tone of the house. You read the rules, you talk to them, but you in many ways set the tone of the house. Tell us about that. You see a group of people, what happens?
Basically, I just tried to be as intimidating as possible. And
how do you do that? You're not a big girl.
Well, I didn't break a smile once, and you'll know off camera. Off
You
camera,
listen
I'm always
to that?
smiling, so it was really in character for me because I wasn't smiling at all, and I had all the dark makeup on, and it was just the people. When you're looking at someone directly in the eyes, it's a personal connection, and so when someone's not smiling back at you, it's like all the little girls, all the little boys, they'd be smiling at you, and you just wouldn't smile back at them. They'd get scared because you're right there staring at them. And you just, or I'd look them up and down like they weren't worth my time, or if they didn't hand me their tickets in the proper way, I would say stuff trying to make them feel silly for handing them to me the wrong way.
So what are we learning here?
You bitch.
Be a bitch.
I'm a bitch. I'm a mother.
Eye contact?
And when I would read them the rules, I kind of stole it from Christine, where she said, you know, this is my house, these are my rules.
Which Christine stole from me.
Okay, I may think it's some credit. So whatever, I was the new one this year, so I just listened to whatever everyone else was saying, and just by saying that it was like my stuff, my house, they were like, oh, it was very personal. Because here I was like this big mean head, and they were like scared of me.
Interesting.
Smiling at all.
Interesting. So she's
Yeah.
So she's taking possession. She's taking possession of the house. It's her house. She's a bitch. She makes eye contact, which makes it personal. Taking possession of the house makes it personal. And I think you've seen right here hanging out with some of the actors, and I hope that you learned, not only from the videotape I showed you, but I hope you learned a little something from the actors and their particular insights, because really nobody knows the scares better than them. I started off by saying that even though I designed a lot of them and built them and did it the way that I thought it should be done, these are the guys that are doing scare after scare, night after night, so nobody has the insight that these guys have. We're talking about guys like Jerry Bradley playing Hannibal, Dominique Jones as the prisoner, Jim Carrey as the gallows master. Guys like this who are your go-to guys, and they do it night after night, they have the most insight. So I hope you learned something from that.
Look over your shoulder, nothing there. Something moves in the shadows, wind brushes past your hair. Are you scared of the darkness?
Around the corner here is our hallway of doors. Now this is a scare that I use each and every year. People never seem to get sick of it, and I think it's a real winner. You just don't know what's going to happen in the hallway of doors. Well, maybe you do kind of know, but I guess the trick is you don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know where it's going to happen. Obviously, someone's going to come out of one of these doors, but you don't know which one. The customer doesn't know which one, and you don't know really what's coming out. Something's coming out, you just don't know. So here's a door that opens up. Over here, this door doesn't open, but this part of the window certainly does. So somebody can come out of here, and if someone's coming out of here, why not the person that just did the stretchy wall? Now you get two uses out of one actor. We keep on going. And what is this? Here's another door. Now this door doesn't seem to work, but actually it does work because we've hinged it backwards. Another great haunted house trick, the reverse hinge door. You can also put someone behind here, although this door doesn't open. We can put somebody behind here, perhaps uplight his face. You can also put a mannequin back there. All right, let's continue. Now we're in the doctor's lab, the mad doctor. Now I know I showed you some footage from the doctor's lab in the Horror Hill video, but we've added a couple of things just to make it look good. One of the things we added is right over here. Of course, it's the upside-down Scare Factory piece, another beautiful piece we got from Scare Factory this year. So what we like to do is welcome the people in. Once again, we get the people standing around the autopsy table. The mad doctor is shooting people with the syringe. He's cutting with the knife. He's pulling out intestines. Well, at the same time, Igor makes an appearance. Someone makes a big noise, people are startled, Igor comes out, maybe grabs some girls by the leg, like down low, because you can always tell the girls by their sneakers. Maybe he grabs their ankles down low. Somebody over here steps on the pad, he starts going, that causes a distraction, that causes people to get scared. And then we usually have somebody that's kind of small right behind this Frankenstein board here. And just as they start running out of the room, he pops out for the scare here. And it works great. Again, it's in this area, it's more like a 1-2-3 punch, and it works great.
What are you doing? Don't touch me! I got the green sheet! Bro, I'm scared as hell. What's gonna happen, like... Holy shit! It's a gate! You were in! It's the doctor!
them open. And we're gonna see what...
No.
Nobody appreciates everything I do.
We don't.
You know what? We don't. Fine. Fine. Why should I take care of this guy, son, huh? Huh? Who wants to look at this? Give me it. You want to see this gun? I want to see it. You. Go. You appreciate me. You even love me.
Off with their heads! Save their souls for sake!
Really pretty! Oh my god!
Hey! Stay in the cabinet! No, please, we don't want him to interrupt. Order on my autopsy table! Ladies and gentlemen! I'm going to need an assistant for this one. You! What is your name? Christina! And Christina, how do you like your existence prepared?
Well done! Like fried rice! Chicken and rice!
It's fried rice, it's not raw.
Fried chicken and rice!
All right. What? I don't know. You tell me. Fine, Christians. Come on, ladies. Come on. You want some. You all want some. You do. Come on.
They come flying around that corner into the black and white strobe room.
Oh, that looks so good.
It would probably look better if we had the strobe on. Oh, it is on. There's so much smoke you can't even tell. So, of course, what happens is the people are immediately taken by the fog. They can't really see. What they can see is an optical illusion of the walls, the squares in the walls getting smaller. We have a guy just hanging up here. It's a rotten old dummy. But look at this. Now all of a sudden, it's coming to life. People freak out at that. We have somebody coming at them from overhead. Again, sending them to the floor.
Your mama!
From another planet.
How are you doing, man?
I take souls.
I can't see, guys.
Take out their intestines!
Over here, I believe it's another scene that we covered 5 years ago in the Horror Hill video. This is the Bates Motel. And I know I went into great detail about the Bates Motel and the psychology behind it, but the same thing holds true as before. What did we say? Don't look up, you look up. We said don't ring the bell.
You rang?
Ring the bell. And we have somebody jumping up here, and we get for the scare. We make for the scare. Let's go to the tape and check some of that out.
Holy God! Holy God! I'm ready! You're going! I don't know. Yes! You like the bell! You little brat! Come out!
My horn? Naughty. When is this gonna be over?
Hurry up the bell! You! Come out and set it on, Grandma!
My arm hurts so bad. I gotta get me
You're going! Who rang the bell?
I didn't ring the bell.
All right, we're leaving the Bates Motel. Let's come into the graveyard. Now, I have to tell you, this isn't my favorite graveyard of all time. This is not really what I had envisioned. I thought it was going to be 2 or 3 times as big, but you know what? I just ran out of room, so we had to make do. But anyway, I love the mausoleum. This is a great old mausoleum. You can see the little coffins with the little bodies inside. And people walk in and they're immediately taken by how nice the mausoleum looks. They're walking through this way, and what happens? Oh, look, another scare factory piece. The Grim Reaper coming down. Tell me that isn't a distraction. So they're looking at this, and all of a sudden, from behind, again, another great from behind scare. He comes out fast, he comes out loud, he's forceful, scares the people this way. They're coming out now, they're running out, he's running around chasing them out. They hit here, it's the time to die area, but what happens first? A drop window, they never see him. They don't see this coming at all because this isn't painted at all. It's totally black. We have nice painting all the way down here. This is the only panel that isn't painted, and this is the one that gets it. So now they're walking this way. We hit the clock over here, and the time, bam, there's another drop panel. We have our giant clock over here. We had a nice spine with a skull on it as the I don't even know what you call it, really.
Pendulum.
What was that? The pendulum, exactly. And someone stole it, but that's not too bad. If that's the only problem we incurred, and that's not too bad. They're walking by here, and what happens? Someone jumps out from the clock. Now we come in here, it's our meat locker. We're moving along this way. And what happens? Bam! Same actor that just got you on the other side, and the clock now comes out of the meat locker and gets you. So we've just gotten 2 scares out of him. Meanwhile, the people have been scared really quickly. They've been scared Bates Motel, graveyard, black panel as they enter Time to Die, the Time to Die drop panel, the freezer drop panel. I just hit you 5 times. Really hard, not to mention the clock, which is 6 times. So by this time the people are really shaken. I was in here the other night, I was dressed up, and a girl was actually on the ground. She'd fallen on the ground. I dragged her by the legs back into the house. I'm dragging her back. She was so scared, so petrified, she was stunned. She couldn't even scream at that point. It was really great. So you come out here, and what do you have? Welcome to Texas, the Lone Star State. But wait, someone has crossed out star and written saw. It's the Lone Saw State. So what do you think happens? Right over here. Bam! There we are. Every great haunted house, of course, has to end with the chainsaw. We've talked about this before. You know, you spend tens of thousands of dollars on your haunted house. Tens of thousands of dollars in advertising, huge payrolls. I have over 30 actors in my house alone. And what happens? The people go through, there's special lighting, there's sound effects, there's great music going, there's screaming. It sounds like the house is on fire. People are screaming from every angle, every room in the haunted house. You know, this is the greatest haunted house I've ever done, you're saying to yourself. So what happens? Some groups go out and you sneak up behind the groups and you kind of saddle up next to them and just kind of listening to what they have to say. And what do they say? Boy, that chainsaw guy really scared me. Every other piece of work you did, every other scare in the house is almost for nothing. The chainsaw guy gets them every time, and that's how I always end my house, and it's probably how you end yours. All right, that's it for now. There should be plenty of videotape on here that you've already seen. I'm going to try to show you some shots of some other stuff, just so you understand a little bit more about the scares. That's it for now. It is October 31st. It is Halloween 2002. We are maybe 1 hour away from the actors coming in and opening up for our final big night. So I got to run. I'll see you in a couple of years.
From the race, they call this dwelling home, but to me it's just an empty space. No one understands me or knows why I
How was it?
That was good. That shit was scary, sir. No doubt. Let's pop it. Now go! It's too short, convicted last night of being a witch. Do you see anything, sir? Yes. Don't worry, no one's there but me and the witch. Like all these other witches before her, she will die. Do you agree with her sentence? No.
Hang the witch!
Hang the witch!
Hang the witch!
3 and she will die. She died!
He lost his shoe! He lost his shoe!